So, what is going on, good people of YouTube? It is me, Chavez. I am back. You are back together. Collectively, we are back with another day, another player prop talk live stream here on the channel. As always, I hope this finds you doing well and in good spirits. Gooder spirits. How come gooder is not a word? Gooder sounds awesome, and it feels good to say gooder. Gooder. Give it a shot. Hope it finds you doing well and in good spirits. We got some plays to go over today. Hope your Thursday night went well. Hope the Denver Nuggets and Wolves game treated you well. That 45-point blowout. Ooh, that's nasty. Hopefully you were on the right side of the blowout. Nothing wrong with blowouts. Just, being on the right side of them is the tricky part. But hopefully your slips were not impacted by that. Yeah, that was crazy. Did not see that coming. A few books saw that coming. I saw some really favorable lines towards the under for a few Nuggets players, and I didn't really understand it. And it happened. Jokic under points. Porter Jr. continues to struggle in the playoffs. Yeah, that game was bad. If you picked a lot of overs on the Nuggets, I guess. If you picked a lot of overs for the Wolves, depending on who you pick, that worked out for you. Woo. Let's get this going. Ladies and gentlemen, I thought we started off a little differently today with a quote. I've been trying to throw these quotes into the stream here and there. Not forcing anything, just appropriate quotes. If I'm feeling something, I want to share it. So I love this quote, not because I made it up, but because it's applicable. It's applicable to anybody, anywhere, doing anything that's trying to achieve anything. Do what they won't, think like they don't, be what they aren't. It is very simple. It is very straightforward. And it basically sums up how to get to where you want to go. Doing what other people won't do. I don't care if that's like a weight loss goal or a fitness goal or an educational goal, right? If you think about the things that people don't want to do, which is work hard, put in extra time, think like they don't, positive thoughts, those are not easy to do and have when things aren't going your way. And when things are bleak, it's easy to just let it all pile up on you. So thinking like they don't, or maybe you can apply this to like picking player props, right? Thinking like other people don't. These motherfuckers over here are saying this, but I don't really feel that, right? And then ultimately you are what they are not, right? Which is the best version of yourself. So I love this quote. I've been kind of living by this quote for, like 10 years. Like 10 years, yeah. Something around there, 10 years. Maybe a little longer than that. But anyway, applicable to anything you do in life. I love this quote. It does breathe power, right? When you are who you want to be and you're doing the things you need to do, it's powerful, super powerful. So we move on. #blessed. As you know, over 10% of the U.S. population dies in their sleep. Being that you are hearing this, seeing this, you are not one of those people unless you're a ghost. And in that case, I say, don't fuck with me, ghost. I believe in ghosts 100%. I'm on your side. But barring that, barring you being a ghost, you're alive. So #blessed. It's a Friday. Enjoy it because it's a good day, not because it's the weekend, and don't live for the weekend and all that bullshit. Make your own damn weekend. Maybe your weekend is Wednesday and Thursday. Maybe that's your weekend. Right? Weekends are congested and full of people doing the same shit. You ever go out on a Wednesday afternoon? Nobody's out on a Wednesday afternoon. Nobody's doing anything on a Wednesday afternoon. I want that day. Don't give me the day where 1,000 other people are trying to fucking do something at the same time. No thanks. Anyway, hashtag blessed. Be blessed today. Have a good day. And we move on to our injury report for today. Super long injury report. Oh, I don't know how long it's going to take us to get through this shit. OG remains out. Mitchell Robinson remains out. This is good. We already knew these two dudes were out. Nothing changes in New York. So proceed. Nothing changes with this lineup. These two guys have remained out. And if New York happens to make it to the next round, we'll see the status on OG. Mitchell's out for the rest of the year, I guess. I guess he has a surgery scheduled. But OG, if they make it past the Pacers, should be good to go for the conference finals versus the Celtics, who took care of business against the Cavs, although not convincingly. I would have liked to see them open up that lead a little sooner than the fourth quarter, but Marcus Morris Sr. I called it. I told y'all Marcus Morris Sr. was going to be that guy. I didn't. Who saw that shit coming? I don't think anybody saw that coming. What's up, JR? Top of the morning to you. Yeah, get in the Discord, man. Get in the Discord. 10-day pass, 1 month. Definitely will make your money back. I say that a lot, but it's true. I mean, if you just look at the winning slips, had somebody signed up on that specific day, and you just go and look at the winning slips the next day, had you tailed any of those slips or picks, you got your money back, no doubt. What's going on, Big T? Let's fucking go. Vibes, what's going on? Yeah. Let's get this going. Got 12 viewers on the stream. Appreciate y'all being here on this Friday morning. If you're just joining, we're just talking about the injury news, hashtag blessed. And I share with you an awesome quote that I made up. Maybe we'll go back to it at some point in the stream, but we got shit to take care of today. Let's get this going. Everybody, real quick, not a sponsor of the channel or anything like that. However, been playing on BETR for the better part of the last couple of months. And they had a great first time deposit match up to 250. There is my QR code. Just scan that code. Scan that code. The actual link is in the description as well. But scan that code. Deposit up to 250. They'll match it, and then play through about $10, and then I get a little something on the other side. Not gonna lie, I get something out of this as well. It's a win-win for everybody. BETR has been an awesome addition to the Pick'em community, I guess you can say. A lot of plays that aren't on PrizePicks and Underdog are on BETR, and some of the lines are better. So definitely better promos. Also, when they give you promos, they're legit. A lot of 0.5 promos. A lot of 0.5 promos. In fact, they're running a 7-day promo, whatever, bonanza spree. This is the 6th day out of 7 days that they're running a promo. Now, the max you can put on it is $5. Now, you can put that in a 5-pick, 6-pick, 2-pick, whatever you want, but you can't place more than $5 on it. However, if you build it correctly, you're making bank every single day off these promos alone. So speaking of promo, today's promo is Tyrese Halliburton, 0.5 points. Now, if you decide to sign up on BETR using my QR code, and I said play through the first $10, just play $10. Well, I got $5 right here on this promo, right? There's $5. And then if you want to put the additional $5 on a slip, head on over to the Discord. I'll share with you how I'm going to use this promo and how I'm going to play on BETR today. And you got $10 taken care of right there. We're going to turn that $10 into at least 30, right? And you got your $250 deposit match. I just showed you how to build bank. So if you're playing on BETR for the first time, sign up using that QR code. Deposit as much as you want up to $250. Don't match it, and then play the Tyrese Halliburton promo. And if you want to tell me, head on over to the Discord, and I'll be sharing with you a few better plays that I like. It's just that simple. And we move on to a new day with new plays. I had to change up the slide a little bit. More representation for me. As much as I love Kobe, I was trying to switch it up a little bit. Little lucha libre going on the screen. Today's plays. Listen, we talk everything here on the channel. So whether you play on PrizePicks, Underdog, Jock Market, BETR, Sleeper, HOTSTREAK, Dabble, Duck Fuck. What's the Quackers? What's the one with the duck on it? Duck Fuck. That one. Wherever you play, we can talk about whatever player prop you want. We'll use props.cash. To break it all down, speaking of props.cash, you'll get to see it used here in real time. So if you've never used props.cash before, you'll get to see here in real time. As I mentioned earlier, if you want to tell my BETR slip, if you want to tell anything that I'm using, doing, seeing how I'm playing these plays, easiest way for you to sign up in the Discord is 10-day pass, $9.99, $1 a day. You'll make that up. And then maybe after 10 days, you're like, I'm good. I made my money back. I made more money. I'm good. Or you can say, hey, I want to make more money. I want to follow more shit. And you sign up for a month or a year. That's how that works. But regardless, hit me up, DM me. Real easy to sign up. We'll get you set up today. And as always, all player prop research here is brought to you by props.cash. I got promos. I got discounts for you on end, man. Thanks 25 is my promo code on props.cash. Sign up using it. Get 25% off your first month. That easy. Save money, man. I'm all about saving money. I'm all about helping you guys save money. Let's make money. Let's save money and make money. How about that shit? Save and make. Let's do it. We're going to head over to the PrizePicks dashboard and pull this up. Now, the reason I use the PrizePicks dashboard, you've probably heard me say this before. If you're new to the stream, I use PrizePicks dashboard because it's the best dashboard on the market. It's clean. It's easy to follow. It's very easy to read, and it presents the best on screen. However, because we use props.cash to break all of our questions down, our player props down, we don't have to pick plays that are only on PrizePicks. So, man, throw them in the chat. Let me know what you're looking to play today. Kind of getting a free slip here. I've already played this slip. I put this in the Discord, premium Discord. I still have it up on the screen, running a 5-pick esports play. Do that in the Discord for premium. Risk over map kills. First 2 map kills. J under headshots. And do over, under his kills, Nerds under headshots, and then Turtle. Turtle has by far the lowest line on his map. First 2 map kills. The second lowest is 26.5, and then a couple other pick'em sites have it over 27. So looking to take the over on that one. It is by far the lowest line, and hopefully we can cash this shit out and get a 10x. Before the NBA slate starts, before the MLB slate starts, and then we want to take that $100 or $200, however much you're putting on the entry, and then flip that into more money, and just keep doing that all day. Wouldn't that be great? So there it is, right there. If you want to tell this, There it is. And we'll move on to your questions, your player prop Q&A. Let's get this going. Let's get this going, y'all. What did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss? Vibes is here. What's up, man? Oh, appreciate that, Big T. It was a good quote. I love that quote. Yeah, the tennis pick. Yeah, did you guys follow T's tennis under who was it again, T? We had it on the screen for a while. We had that shit on the screen for a while. T also hit 2 6-mans on Wednesday. What was it, like $200 each? They're all in the Winning Slips channel. You can go check out the winning slips from everybody in the Discord. What's up? JR said he had a 6 and a 4 Wednesday with a lot of picks from here. Needed y'all yesterday. Yeah, yesterday I had a lot of my slips final. I had a lot of PGA plays in my slips, so they were all final yesterday. So a lot of doubles, a lot of 2X's yesterday. I always missing out by one play. Devers and Jaron Duran went off. 12 total bases yesterday between those two fools. These motherfuckers, man. I can't get the Red Sox right. I'm a huge Red Sox fan. A lot of Boston sports love here, but I picked the plays based off value. So I pick a lot of unders and shit on the Red Sox and Celtics. It doesn't matter to me what team you play for, but man, as a Red Sox fan, it was great. As a pick'em, you know, fan, it was not so great because they fucked up my slip. JR says, turd of the day, freaking Michael Porter. This guy is trash. This guy is trash. This series, man. Yeah, he's looked terrible. We saw a lot of this in was it last season, but what round was it? Where we just saw him just, I mean, like his playoff, he had a playoff drought going on. I don't know what round it was. I don't think it was against the Lakers, was it? It was just a bad round. This one looks pretty bad too. What's going on? What's going on, Menace? Boom Bandits TV. What's up, man? Good morning. Positive regression. I mean, listen, a lot of pick'em sites. They had a lot of pick'em sites, a lot of publications, a lot of experts really were liking the over on Michael Porter. His points were so low, 13.5 points. I mean, that's I mean, we're getting his points at 18.5, right? And the odds were good. You know, his overall production was terrible. Oh yeah, dude. That's so true. Yeah, the Porter family's going through some shit right now, man. Jonte Porter, that's Michael Porter's younger brother. That's the guy that got suspended in he's lifetime ban from the NBA. I don't even know if is it professional basketball? Can he go play in Brazil or something? But yeah, that dude got kicked out, and then another one of his brothers got locked up for hit and run. Damn, Michael Porter Jr. is the like silver lining in that family. His brothers are fucking up, but fucking Nat. Yeah, man, the Porters are going through some shit. Oof. What's up? Drip says Halo. Is that Halliburton over points, Dante points, and threes, and Siakam. Andrew Steele was free, got taken down though. All right, let's get this going. We're just chopping it up. We're just talking shit now. We're just having fun. All right. So by the way, if you guys and gals want to play that BETR promo, Halliburton over points, right? That one's good. Also on Underdog, I haven't checked out Halliburton on PrizePicks, but on Underdog, Halliburton's assists are at 8.5. Halliburton's assists are also on BETR at 8.5. So you can really leverage BETR's lines at 8.5 versus 9 on PrizePicks. Whereas on PrizePicks, 9 will get you the push. On Underdog and BETR, 9 will get you the over. But I'm interested in looking at it at 9 because 8.5 is low. 8.5 is low. With good reason. It's not like he's been, fucking Magic Johnson out there, dishing out 15 assists a game. So there's a reason it's low, but it is a buy low opportunity if you want to roll with it. We could take a look at that. I think his points were also mentioned. We want to take a look at DiVincenzo's points. Did I see that in there? Was it DiVincenzo's threes? Man, DiVincenzo, the big ragu. The big ragu's threes are watered down. 2.5 is your gobby. Don't forget about your protected play, your $5 protected play. $5 is a bitch move, but you can still take that $5 free $5 entry basically and turn it into $125. You can turn it into $50. You can turn it into $15 if you want to put it in a 2-pick. Typically on those, you want to go with a 5 or 6 pick, as it does give you the most upside for the biggest hit, and it's a no risk, so doesn't mean you have to get stupid with it, but I'd rather turn 5 into 50 or 125 than 15. If you're looking to play his threes, I don't know where on PrizePicks you want to start, either with his goblin or just points, because they do correlate. If you like him going over his threes, I mean, if he hits 3 threes, that's 9 points. If he hits 4 threes, that's 12. You're over halfway to his points. So maybe let's throw his points on the board and just see what that looks like. DiGenzo, man. DiGenzu? Is it DiGenzu? Like a zoo full of degenerates? Pirates versus Cubs. Top demons. Dante, too famous. What's up, man? Miles Turner over rebounds and Cabrera over total bases. Alec Burke under turnovers. Pirates, Cubs, top demons. You're saying that game has the top demons? Do you have a favorite? See, we have Morel. Damn, the whole row is Morel. Jeez. 5 out of the first 6 plays on the Cubs are Morel demons. Yeah, let me know which demon you're liking out of the Cubs and Pirates. Maybe something for O'Neal Cruz, because O'Neal Cruz had a good fantasy score projection and a good fantasy score line of, was it 7.5? It may have been lower than 7.5. Damn, Joey Bart's on the Pirates. I forgot about that. Okay, so O'Neal Cruz has a nice fantasy score line of 6.5. His demon, he has a total base prop of 1.5. That's a demon. I mean, probably his RBI or run would be a place to look for his demons. I have literally done no research on O'Neal Cruz today, so I'm just kind of going by what the fantasy score that I saw earlier had him projected for a little over 7. So I'm just trying to like piece it together. like how he's going to construct that. What's down here? These are super inflated, but maybe his runs and RBIs, if he's able to get on base, him scoring a run, probably. Let's see what his fantasy score breakdown looks like on props.cash, and we'll see if we can build a case for a run prop for O'Neal Cruz. Where the fuck is it? There you go. See, Miles Turner over boards, Cabrera over total bases. Which Cabrera? There's like 90 of them in the MLB. Osvaldo Cabrera. If it's Osvaldo, then they took his total bases down. They typically will. It's 921. Yeah. They being the PrizePicks or Pick'em sites, will start removing some of these total base props off the board around this time. But Osvaldo Cabrera usually has a 0.5 total base prop, and more times than not, he goes over. So that one's usually a good one when the Yankees are on the slate. And he's doing it batting towards the bottom of the order, which doesn't make it more impressive, but he doesn't get as many at-bats as the top order does. So he's doing it with limited opportunities. So he's just making the most out of them, which is awesome. All right, what else we got? Let's throw the Miles Turner up for Dante since Cabrera they removed. We got McConnell PRA, Ian Happ. We're getting some total bases in here. Dustin Johnson over 70 strokes. What's going on, Vu? Good morning to you. All right, let's build a diverse slip here. So let's throw that Dustin Johnson over 70 strokes. Tiger Woods, y'all. Tiger Woods, y'all. Does anybody know or remember the Chris Rock No Sex in the Champagne Room song? No sex in the champagne room. And there was he was also like pretending to be Tiger Woods, and the only thing that made him look like Tiger Woods was he was just doing that the whole time. And he just had like a Nike hat on with a red shirt, and he was holding like a golf club. But like the chorus was like, or the hook was Tiger Woods, y'all. Tiger Woods, y'all. It had like nothing to do with the song. But it was just a funny ass song. This is well before Chris Rock got slapped in the face. This is like well before any of that shit. This is like when Chris Rock was the top comedian in America or the world or whatever. Chris Rock was on top of it for a while. Bigger and Blacker, Chris Rock. Y'all remember that shit? Am I dating myself? It's funny as hell. Really funny. Tiger Woods, y'all. What was it for Miles Turner? Over rebounds at 7? All right. Wasn't it at 6.5? Damn, man. They could just keep dropping his shit. All right. And then we also have Ian Happ to look at. Oh, CB4. Yeah. CB4 was so fucking funny. CB4 was so funny. Man, that's going back. What's this one from Bandit? Says Zach Wheeler under strikeouts. You've put a couple in here, and Ian Happ. I'll tell you what, because I can't fit. You know what? We can. Let's remove the Halliburton assist, because we can always just look at a couple of his props. We don't need all his shit on the board. Let's pull up the Ian Happ, because you put that one in the chat before the Wheeler. Let's pull up Ian Happ. What's the Haps on the craps? Ian Haps on the craps. What is it? Total basis? All right. Let's go over to props.cash. We will break down O'Neal and Happ first, and then the remaining plays are NBA. So then we'll just spend the majority of that time breaking down those NBA plays. All right. As I mentioned before, if it's your first time seeing props.cash, then you're in for a treat. Not really. You'll get to see it work in real time. If you like what you see, you can always use my promo code to sign up. That way you can use it on your own time. However, this is a great little intro, a great little, tutorial, I guess, showing you how to use it. All right, let's start over in the NBA. We'll pull up now, apparently, there are some demons to look out for in this game. Throw them in the chat. Let me know which demons you actually like out of this game. But the one that I chose is the O'Neal Cruz runs, because his fantasy score was showing some good lines earlier this morning. It's a low line of 6.5. Barring these last two games, O'Neal Cruz has been on quite the streak here. He has hit safely in 8 straight games, and in 5 of those games, he has multiple hits, which is fantastic. His hits, runs, and RBIs look like that, which is great. And then in terms of runs scored in those games, because he's getting on base, good things happen when you get on base. You give your teammates an opportunity to drive you in, and that is how you win games. So we can look at the breakdown for his projections here and build out a fantasy score based off this. And then we can look at the odds and then kind of figure out where we think he can finish. And then we will create a range, and then, yeah, that's how we do it. So looking at his hits today, he's projected for a 0.7 hit, which is basically 1, closer to 1 than it is 0. And he's only projected for 2 hits, runs, and RBI. So got to figure out where the other part of this is. Is it going to be a run, or is it going to be an RBI? So looking at his run projection is 0.55. So that is slightly higher than the line of 0.5. You combine the single with the run, and then that gives you your 2 hits, runs, and RBIs, and those 2 give you 5 fantasy points. Now, for him to go over this line, he needs 2 more. Got to figure out where those other 2 are going to come from. So it is possible he drives in an RBI. It is very possible. If he's batting in the top, one of the top 2 holes in the lineup, it's a little harder to drive in a run when you're the leadoff hitter, or if you're second at bat, if you're second in the lineup and the leadoff hitter doesn't get all base, unless you hit a home run, it's real hard to drive in runs. You ideally want to target RBIs for batters who are batting more towards the middle of the lineup, because the opportunities are there for players to get on base. So if he's in the 4 hole, 5 hole, 6, the RBIs probably look a little better, but if we just build this out based off what we're seeing here, minus 224 to get over 0.5 hits. That tells me that that is probably closer to 2 hits. It's hard for players to get 2 hits in the MLB. It is not easy. The best don't get 2 hits a game. Go look at Acuna's numbers. Go look at Ohtani's numbers. Go look at Mookie Betts. Go look at these guys who are racking up, 15 fantasy points a game. They're not doing it with 4 hits. It's usually a very meaningful hit, like a double or a home run. But, you're not seeing players finish the game with 5 hits. It's not like scoring points in the NBA. So, 2 hits is when guys start getting 2 hits, they're making it look easy. It's not easy. They're just having a good stretch. So, Oneil Cruz getting you 2 hits is probable. If he got you 2 singles and he scores a run, there's your over on your fantasy points. In those games, he has racked up 6 doubles. So if he goes out there and gets you a double and he scores a run, there's your 7 fantasy points right there. That's it. That's all you need. So I think his fantasy score is in play. I also like the Demon Run prop. If you like his prospects of getting on base, he just needs Reynolds or I don't know who's batting after Reynolds. He just needs Reynolds to drive him in, Reynolds today, RBI prop from Reynolds is at 0.5. He has 3 in his last 10. Not the best. Numbers against Kyle Hendricks. So his batting average against Kyle Hendricks is not great, but he has hit for a bit of power versus Hendricks in 34 plate appearances. So 2 RBIs right there. In fact, BVP versus Kyle Hendricks, you got Oneil Cruz, who's 1 for 2. You got Connor Joe. So if this happens to be the order, which has McCutchen been leading off, but then you have Oneil Cruz batting in the 3-hole. If one of these dudes gets on base, the RBI opportunity is there. If one of these guys gets on base and Oneil Cruz hits a double, that's a run scored. He's going to drive in an RBI with a double. So Connor Joe also has hit Hendricks very well. Not many of these dudes are striking out, at least in the top 5. I mean, 19.6 is a little high for McCutchen, but 14.7, that's a 0. 12.5. The strikeout rates are low versus Hendricks, so you could be looking at some RBI opportunities in the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at bats if it's similar to what we're seeing here. But anyway, Oneil Cruz over runs, I like that one, and then his hitter fantasy score looks good. Let's look at Ian Happ. Same game, right? Does Ian Happ still play for the Cubs? He does. So let's take a look at Ian Happ's total bases. All right. Minus 120 to go over. Damn. This guy has racked up 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13 total bases in his last 10 games. So he's averaging 1.3 total bases per. Then in his last 5, he's averaging 1.8. 1 hits, 1 base, 1 single. 2 hits, runs, and RBI. So he is projected to score a run. I don't know if he has a run demon prop. Although the odds do not like the over, the projection is in favor of it. Now, this rookie, Paul Skeens, this dude's kind of a beast. He had a little issue with his control in his debut. He did walk, I think, 3 batters. Did he hit? He hit 2 batters. He walked 2, some shit like that. He put quite a few guys on base, but he did finish with 7 strikeouts, I think. Yeah, it's always a little weird when you have a pitcher facing a team for the first time, especially if that pitcher's a rookie. Yeah, he had 7 strikeouts against the Cubs in his debut. Then now he gets to see him again. So he had 7 strikeouts. He walked 2. I don't know how many batters he hit. He did give up 3 earned runs. Now, when he exited the game, I don't think he had 3 earned runs to his name, but because he left men on base, the next pitcher in allowed those men to score, and those earned runs got credited to him. So his ERA went up. But while he was in there, he was only in there for 4 innings. He struck out 7 batters in 4 innings. So if he's putting runners on, that drives up the likelihood of the Cubs driving those runners in. But Ian Happ, we're talking about his total bases today, which look good. The odds are fine. They're not great, you know, minus 120 to the over, minus 110 to the under. You know, those aren't the best odds, but they're not terrible. Caesars, DraftKings, and Pinnacle all see it the same way. Yeah, I mean, looks good. He should, if the Pirates are cautious with this kid and they have him only pitch 4-5 innings, Ian Happ will see this guy twice. He's 0 for 2 against him. In his 2 at-bats, in his 2 at-bats, where are we at? He struck out 1 time. So there you go. All right, let's talk NBA. That's a long breakdown for 2 plays. Miles Turner rebounds. Let's see if we can zoom through these. So there's a reason Miles Turner rebounds keep getting dropped lower and lower and lower. There's a reason why it opened up at 6.5, being bumped up to 7 because too many users were playing it at 6.5. That's a super low line. Although the only game in this series where he actually went over this line, or only games here. Or is it here? There's one way. No, not on a Friday. Playoffs. There you go. 5 games, 2 over, 3 under. That 110 rebound game was a fucking anomaly. Come on, man. But he did it. So definitely boosts his average up. However, 3 games say that he's not that guy every game. So at 7, you want to take the over at 7. He's gone over 1 time. He would have pushed in this game at 7. If you want to take this out of just this series and look at what he did and what he's done in the playoffs, he does have 3 games of clearly going over. He has 2 games of the push, which is not a loss. And then he does have 5 games of unders. So 5 is like his number where he sticks to 5. When he's under that number of 7 or 6, whatever, he's landing on 5. Sure, I think a couple of these games were blowouts. You can say, had he got his minutes, had he got his full run, he would have went over. We don't know. If he got 5 extra minutes here, does he go over? If he got 5 extra minutes here, does he go over? We don't know. He got 35 minutes here. Back on the 6, he got 35 minutes on the 6. Didn't do shit. So can't really say if he were in, he would have hit it. We don't know. So All we know is what we see, and what we see here shows that the under is going to happen more times than the over. But at 7, you're getting a super low line. At 7.5, you're going to start seeing books really favor the under. At 6.5, you got DraftKings, Caesars, and BetMGM that all like the over at 6.5. So they're basically saying this guy's going to go out there and get you 7 rebounds. Now that it's being pushed to 7, you're playing for the push because 8 is a little high based off this number, because FanDuel doesn't think he gets you 8s. And if you're playing it at 7, then he now needs 8. So at 7, it is a bit more of a risk. I would definitely put that in a flex. I would not risk it putting it in a power play. There's way better plays to play in a power play. Let's look at Halliburton's points, because I think those are at a reasonable line today. So head-to-head in the playoffs this season, or not this season, against the Knicks, 2 games way over. 1 game where he hooked it, and then the other 2 games didn't come close. Y'all remember that game where he was talking that shit to Dante DiVincenzo? He can't hold me. He can't hold me. And then he held the pose on that 3. And then he comes out and gives you 13 points. So, poetic justice. I like when players talk shit. But when I saw that, I was like, win the fucking series. Just win the fucking series. Stop talking shit. Win the series. Then you can talk shit. But like, you got games to play. It's not like that was the final game of the series and that was a closeout. You got to go back to New York now. And then he got his ass handed to him. So, which Tyrese Halliburton will you get today? I don't know. Best point prop for him is on better at 0.5. You take the over on that one. But at 20, he's gone over twice. He's gone under 3 times. Projected for 20.42. So that is right there at the hook. If you think he has an extra point in him today, then you like this line. There has been no there's really been no home cooking for Halliburton in this series. He's 1-1. So it's not like, oh, he goes over when he's at home. This game is at home. No, he goes under, he goes over. So you can say, hey, man, had the Knicks kept it closer, he would have gone over 20. The whole what if hypothetical, we don't know. All we know is that he went over and went under. So in this game, he's projected for 20. If you feel like he has an extra point in him, then you like the over on this because it's very close. You're not going to get great odds on these numbers. The only book that's giving you the over, like a solid over, is Caesars at 133. BetMGM, DraftKings, FanDuel do not like this. In fact, BetMGM favors the under. DraftKings slightly favors the under, while FanDuel slightly favors the over. So again, you're getting a lot of like, meh, I don't know. You know? So again, if you just think that he has an extra point or 2 in him today to get over that 20, then you like the over on this one. His assists at 8.5 were really popping. However, there's a reason for that, because he's only gone over assists 1 time in this series. He hasn't even got you 10. So there's a reason why it was brought down to 8.5, and then 8.5, it was just too low. Now it's been bumped up to 9. I wouldn't play it at 9, to be honest with you. It's very similar to the Miles Turner, where you just kind of like, it's just too much of a hope and prayer. Like, I hope he gets 10 when you can just go play it at 8.5 and hope he gets 9. All right, who else was there? DiVincenzo, and that's it. So we can look at DiVincenzo's points. We can look at his threes, although his threes on PrizePicks are already nerfed. So you're going to have to play a goblin. I didn't see a demon 3 for him. Demon 3s have not been working out for us lately. He's falling off a fucking cliff, man. 5, 6, 7, 1, 0. Now, the good thing is you can't get any lower than 0. So if this is a regression play where what comes down must come back up, then we're in good shape, because 5 will get it done today if you're playing the over at 3.5. 5 3-pointers would also get him 15 points, and you like the over on his points at 17.5. He needs 3 more points. His projection today for threes is literally at that line. I mean, a smidge over, but 3.5 is closer to 4 than it is the 3. So if you wanted to round that up and say he gets you 4 threes today, that puts you over based off projection. Although the odds don't like this at all. You got 4 books that are heavily favoring the under on this one. Although you have a nice projection on his points at 19.38. The books are a little bit more forgiving on this line. FanDuel slightly favors the under, but there is juice to the over. BetMGM is staying away from this shit. DraftKings likes it at 16.5, and Caesars also. If you can find it at 16.5, that is the line. But at 17.5, you're getting 1 book with the over. Or excuse me, at 17.5, you're getting 2 books that like the under. One is you can coin flip it, and the other one is basically outright giving you the under. So again, regression, you know he wasn't going for 40. You know he wasn't going for 36 in the next game. That's not going to happen. Boom. Back-to-back games of sub 10. So if you believe in the positive regression, then you like this spot for him, because there's a lot of room between 7 and 25 points. And you're asking him to get you 18, which is kind of like right in the middle. You're not even asking him to regress to his previous games. You're asking him to just bounce back and basically double up what he did here. So his points are in play based off just these game logs. But first, go see if you can find it at 16.5. Why play it at the higher line when you have the option to play it at a lower line? All right. So if you wanted to run this 6 pick as a slip, you can. You can go over on Halliburton's points. You can go over. Oh, DiVincenzo's at 17, not 17.5. Okay, still he needs to have a fucking better game than his last 2 games. 8 points is not going to get it done. Doesn't matter if it's 17 or 17.5. He scores 8 points. By my calculations, 8 is a lower number. So he definitely needs to have a better game. 17 is a lower number. So you definitely like the over here. O'Neal Cruz is your demon play. We looked at his runs. That is in play, as well as his fantasy score. Dustin Johnson over 70 strokes. Miles Turner over his rebounds. Although if you want to go find it at 6.5, that's the better line. And then we'd like the over on Ian Happ's total bases. If you ran all 6 of these in a slip, it's not the best payout. I mean, 26x. Is that 26 or 28? 26x. That's not even worth it to me. If I'm going to play a demon prop, that demon prop needs to yield me at least an additional 5x. The risk outweighs it doesn't outweigh the reward, in my opinion. So you can run this in a slip if you want to. I wouldn't. Not these exact plays. So just based off the payout, I'd rather, if you're just going to put a demon play in there, why not just go for one that's going to, like, go for O'Neal Cruz's total bases or something versus the run. But I think the run is in a good spot. It might be the golf. It might be the PGA play in there that's like nerfing it for us. If we remove Dustin Johnson. No, not really. Not really. So, Favorite plays out of these, if we ran same, maybe because PrizePicks is starting to do this shit where they are actually monitoring plays from the same game now. So because these two guys are in the same game, maybe that's causing the payout to be a little different. If you ran these two in a 2-pick, 3.25x. Yeah, I think it has to do with the actual game. Let's just see. Let's take Hap out. Damn, I can't even get a number on this bitch. PrizePicks is just like being so slow right now. I just want to see if the nerf was because of the same game. Also, the demon props are not all equal because obviously a demon, like a home run demon prop, is going to yield you more of a payout than, you know, one of the lesser ones. So you'll have to play around with those just to figure out what the best combo is. But oh my God, how many cruises are in the fucking MLB? All right. Ian Happ over total bases. All right. So we know that one is going to be a nerf, right? 0.25. Let's take Ian Happ out. And we're just going to literally put anybody in there just to see if there's a difference in payout. Nah. So maybe it's just this is not the best demon to go with in terms of highest payout. But I think it is a good one that's in play based off what we saw in Props.cash. All right. Moving on. Appreciate y'all being here on a Friday morning. We just spent a lot of time breaking down those plays. I don't care. If you can find Cabrera over total bases, PrizePicks just doesn't have it. They got no Cabrera total base prop, but he's good for a base in most games. If you can find that total base prop, I think it's a solid over, but you need to go find it on another pick'em site because PrizePicks is not letting you play it there. Alec Burks turnovers, McConnell PRA. Let's look at this. Turnovers off the coffee burp. Got Ian Happ in there. Wheeler. Let's take a look at Wheeler's strikeouts. Over 7. Got Miles rebounds in there already. I wonder if Paul Skeens. What do you mean by that, Boom? Or who is this again? Menace. All right. I mean, he should see 2 at bats against Skeens, and then I think they're still trying to be a little cautious with him. I don't think he's gonna go out there and pitch 6 innings. especially if it's control. Like, I think it might be just based off his control. If he's walking batters early or hitting batters, you don't want to keep that guy in there for 5+ innings. That's going to ruin his confidence. It's also going to fuck up the game for you because you're just going to put a lot of runners on. So it's possible that he has a short leash today, but he can. I mean, instead of looking at Ian Happ, maybe look at the over strikeouts for Skeens. Over strikeouts, under fantasy score. If Skeens has a fantasy score that's in the 30s, if you just factor in runners on, that increases the opportunity to give up runs, and that takes away 3 points. Even if he goes out there and strikes out 8 batters, if his innings pitched are low and his earned runs are high, it should equal a lower fantasy score. Yeah, Dustin Johnson, PGA over strokes. What's going on, Canadian Dad? I got Mavs tonight, Brunson, and free my boy Scotty. Who's Scotty? Scotty Scheffler? We got McConnell in there. DeWanna Bonner over PRA. All right. We got Wheeler in there also. All right, we got 3. We got 3 plays in there right now. Let's see. Man, I really liked the 3-point combo yesterday between Clark and Ionescu. And they 2. I think they finished with 2. Not good. I'm gonna throw a play in there off my pick'em sheet in the Discord. Hopefully it's not the one that fucks up, but CJ Abrams over fantasy score, like that one. All right, let's roll with these 4. Let's pull some plays up over on props.cash. He got detained this morning. Scotty Scheffler got detained this morning. Did he really? For what? What'd he do? Scotty Scheffler did? Which Scotty? Scotty Brooks? Scotty Barnes? Scotty Too Hottie? All right. Let's hit up this Winba. DeWanna Bonner. When I say DeWanna Bonner, I think of Joanna Man. Y'all remember that movie, Joanna Man? Fucking dumbass movie, man. But when you're like 10, you're like, oh yeah, that's a great movie. Go back and watch a movie you liked when you were 11. I've watched so many movies that I thought I liked because it's been so long, and then I go back and can't get through half of it. This is so funny what entertains us as kids. All right, we like the over on her PRA, right? But her her PRA got bumped up to 24. Even. So yeah, it was getting way too much love at 23.5. So Pick'em Sites decided to bump it up to 24. So it's still in play. because when you look at these three numbers here, that gives you well over 24. So 17 plus 7 is 24, plus 2 is 26. When you look at the last 5 games, how many games were from this season? Just one. 27 PRA to open up the year against the Fever. I got a fever. So there's really not a huge sample size here to look at, but this game is against the Mystics. One thing we can do is go back and look at the head-to-head matchup from last season, where Bonner did go over this in 3 out of 7 games, 3 out of 8 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 out of 7 games. She's averaging 24 on the dot, and you see this, though in some of these games she went well over. Because these games are well over, it balances out and it doesn't really hurt the average too much to have a game where she only got 15. So the average looks fine. You know, you're hoping for a game in this range. This will be great, but it seems like that is like her ceiling. She got very close here. So we can look at the odds on her points at 16.5. They're favored to go over on 4 books. So that gives you 17. Well, PrizePicks never gives you odds. So 3 books, it gives you over, giving you over. That's 17 points right there. So that lines up with her projection. Her rebounds on these 3 books are identical. 118 across the board. So it's saying that she gets you 6 rebounds based off these odds. So 6 plus the 17 is 23. And then the assists, we get like no projections on the assists. But at 23, she literally needs to get you 1 assist. So if Bonner goes out there and gets you 17 points, 6 boards, 1 assist, that's 24. That's a push. So she actually needs 2, which she's done in almost every single game against the Mystics. In terms of rebounds, she needs 6. I think the rebounds might be the one that you see a bit of a drop off from the projection, saying that she gets you 7. She might be in that 5 to 6 range. In terms of points look strong if you look at the last 5, where she's averaging, I don't even know what she's averaging, but she needs 17, right? Got it, almost got it. So 49, 59, 66, 76, 80, 81 points in 4 games. That's basically 20 points. If she gets you 20 points, she's smashing the over on this shit. Not even a sweat. She'll smash this shit with rebounds and points. Easy. She'll smash it with 20 points and 5 boards. 20 points, it's going over. It might get a little sticky if she's like in that 16 to 17 point range, because now she needs to get you a few extra rebounds and maybe an extra assist. All right. Bonner, done. TJ McConnell. Let's look at his 2nd grade teacher looking ass. Looking at the over on his PRA. In the playoffs versus the Knicks. 3 up, 2 down. When he's under, he is way under. Not even close. You probably know this shit by halftime. He ain't getting the over on this shit. Let's see if we can figure out. Let's see if we can find a trend here. So in these 3 games where he goes over, he's having a huge first half. Right? In these 2 games, not so much. In those 3 games where he goes over, he's not having a huge second half, but look at the difference between second half and first half. I mean, he might as well just stayed his ass in the locker room, right? In this game, not even close. So if you want to follow a trend, or if you want to believe this is a trend where in games where McConnell does go over his PRA, it's pretty evident in the first half. He's having a good first half. The game is flowing. It's his tempo. He's doing a lot of different things. You can kind of figure out like, okay, this is a good game for him. And also, if his PRA is 19, 18 and a half, he's getting this shit done damn near in the first half, right? He needs 3 more. He needs 4 more. He needs 5 more. In the games where he's not getting it done, for a role player, it's very important that they have a good first half, because that just creates more work for him to do in the second half. And they're already working on limited minutes. So, yeah, I think if you see this one starting off in a good note in the first half, you feel real good about that over. But based off what we're seeing here, good first half equals good full game. Bad first half equals going under on his full game prop. Looking at the projections, you can see that he is projected for 21. All 3 of these look solid. And then you're looking at his odds on FanDuel, under, over on BetMGM. You could look at this as a split. It's only separated by 4 points, but these two are clearly in favor of the under for TJ McConnell. All right, let's look at Zach Wheeler strikeouts at 7 now. Has been bumped up from 6.5 to 7. Projected for 7.29. So he needs 8 to get the over on this one. Good news is he's gotten you 8 or more in 3 of his last 5 starts. Against the Wizards, wow. Against the Nationals. What a range of names DC has. The Commanders, the Wizards, and the Nationals. The Wizards, that's the only one that's not fitting. I like their old name, the Washington Bullets. Then that shit started getting like bad pub because so many people were dying in DC and the murder rate was up. So they were like, we got to change that shit. Like all their season ticket holders were gang members and shit. Free bullet night. Giving out ammunition at the door and shit. All right. So against the Nationals, he's not having a lot of success against this team. Now, you can read into it. You don't have to read into it. I'm just showing you what the numbers are versus this team. New season, though, right? 2024 is a new season. He's starting off hot. He's projected for 7 strikeouts. At 6.5, this was getting great odds for the over. If you caught it at 6.5, it looks great. You can go find it at 6.5. Don't have to play it at 7 on PrizePicks. But if you're going to play it at 7, just know the risk that's involved, because at 7 now he needs 8, which he's gotten. However, against this team, he has not gotten you 8 in ever. How this team hits Wheeler, they've never hit him before. So typically when you have so many batters that haven't faced a pitcher, really? None of them? You do give the edge to the pitcher in that matchup. Let's look at just take a look at CJ Abrams fantasy score. It's just so low. I'm not saying CJ Abrams goes out there and hits for the cycle against Wheeler, but man, you start seeing some of these hitter fantasy scores at 6, 5.5, 6.5. 6.5 is kind of average, but 6 is very low. It's worth taking a look at, okay? I'm not saying you got to be fanboy. I'm just saying you got to open it up and just take a look. So at At 6, we know how this works out. A single, 3 points, a run, an RBI, or 2 points each. A combination of those 3 gets you the over. Okay, he's projected for a hit, which is going to be a single. There's your 3. He's projected for an RBI. There's your 5. And he's also projected to score a run. There's your 7 points right there. Just because he has a good game today doesn't mean Wheeler has a bad game. I mean, it's baseball. Shit, man. People got to score, you know? So obviously you're not going to play Wheeler and Abrams in the same lineup. That's negative correlation. So based off what we just saw, that's 8 fantasy points right there. If we just want to take a more conservative approach, we can see that he is projected for, well, his odds are at 224 to the over on his hits, which kind of like 2 hits. But if you just want to keep it low, say it gets you 1 hit, okay, fine. 1 hit, probably going to be a single based off what we're seeing here. Although doubles have been a part of his last 5, minus 10,000 to get a triple. Home run, those aren't bad odds, but we're not. I mean, if he hits a home run today, obviously that gets you the over on fantasy score. So we got 3 points from a single. And then we're looking at an RBI. He has 4 RBIs in his last 10 games. However, let's start that over because we were looking at his numbers against. Okay, so it wasn't me. It looks like. It just looks like it's stuck on Philadelphia for some reason. Hold on. Let's try this again. Man, every once in a while, man, these game logs get stuck on a team. And I don't want to just see his numbers against Philly because it doesn't matter. He's not pitching against Wheeler every time. I just want to see Abrams' numbers over his last 5 and 10 games. And it was just stuck on Philly. Let's try it again. There we go. Okay. Whew. 3 points. 2 RBIs in his last 10. He scored 3 runs in his last 10. Walk, not a thing, and his stolen bases really not happening over his last 10. So when we look at just the odds alone, the hits minus 224 to go over 0.5 hits. To me, that's close to 2. If Abrams gets you 2 hits, he's already at fantasy score, and if he scores a run, he's over. If Abrams happens to get you a double, and scores a run, he's over. So I just think 6 is too low. The matchup with Wheeler is on paper not a good one. However, his numbers against Zach Wheeler have been pretty good. A little good, right? So this helps. How do we not have any BVP against Wheeler, but Abrams has numbers against Wheeler? Another thing when looking at Wheeler also with his strikeouts is the Nationals typically don't strike out a lot. I mean, you do have a couple guys in there over 20. But for the most part, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 batters, potential batters in this lineup that are under 20. Those are pretty low strikeout rates. You also have some decent walk rates. 1, 2, 3 guys in there that are over 10. I mean, So they're not swinging and missing, and they're not swinging at dumb shit. So it could be a tough game for Wheeler just in terms of strikeouts. That's another thing to pay attention to when you're looking at strikeout props for pitchers. It's just, you know, and if you look at historically Wheeler's numbers against Washington, you know, we saw that his strikeouts weren't really high. I mean, at least for the last few seasons, strikeouts have not come easy against the Nationals. So just keep that in mind. At 6.5, I think it's a very, very good play because he's gotten you 7. He's gotten you 7. But at 7 now he needs 8. He hasn't gotten you 8 against Washington ever. All right. Like the over on TJ McConnell's PRA. However, I will say that in order for this dude to go over, he definitely needs to have himself a good first half. Without a good first half, I should say, it's going to be real tough for him to go over this line. Based off what we saw, the odds show that his first half kind of sparks it, right? He's not making up for a bad first half in the second half ever. In those game logs, no good second half stats. Wheeler over, I think it's a little bit of a push here, but if you can find it at 6.5, that's the best line. Love Bonner over her. It's possible she gets this over on points and rebounds alone. If she gets you 19 to 20 points, she's smashing this shit. She'll get you 5 boards. She'll get you at least 1 assist. Abrams, just a little too low. Numbers against Wheeler are really good, but even if Wheeler goes out there and gives you 7 to 8, 9 strikeouts, I'm willing to take a shot at 6. 6 is just really low. It's probably one of the lower fantasy numbers you'll see for a hitter on PrizePicks at 6. So there's a few extra plays for you if you like those. Who are we missing? Didn't we have another play on here? No, we didn't. All right. What's going on, MIC? Top of the morning to you. Gotcha. I got you, Canadian dad. Ezzy over 21.5 points and rebounds. All right, let's take a look at Ezzy. Let's take a look at Sykes. What's going on, Anthony? You like Tyrese points? We made a case for his points earlier at 20.5. Some keynotes from that. He's 1-1 at home, 1 up and 1 down. All right, he went way over with 35. And then he hit 20 in his last home game. Now, you can make a case and say the only reason he didn't get you the over on points in his last home game was because of the blowout. That's probably closer to true because, I mean, he just didn't play a whole lot, right? You can say that, but we can just do that shit for any player prop and, you know, make a case. So the fact is the fact, and he didn't hit it. He's coming off a really bad game where he only got you 13 points. So at 20.5, you would like to believe that he comes out there and he leads his team like the face of the franchise should lead a team and not try to get everybody involved. I hate that shit, man. Like, these are grown ass men out there, you know, you got to like build their confidence up. What the fuck? Anyway, yeah, I think his points are in play. All right, let's take Wheeler out. Let's take Abrams out. Let's go to Ezzy. I think that was a rebounds and points prop. Okay, and then who else was it? Sykes. Wanda Sykes. Going under on Brittany Sykes rebounds. Wow. All right. What's up, Wave Lord? Who is this? He could most likely you talking about stolen bases? Who? Abrams? Alyssa Thomas over 17 RA. Obi Point Demon. What's up, Judah? Big Icy. Good morning. Or her fantasy score, not Wanda Sykes. I know it's not Wanda Sykes. I just had to say Wanda Sykes. All right, who is it? Alyssa Thomas over 17.5 rebounds and assists. Damn, that's high. We could possibly build a WNBA slip just based off the last few questions. We got Thomas, Sykes, Izzy, Bonner. Who else in there? Did I miss anything, right? All right. All right. The first time I saw Wanda Sykes, she was on the Chris Rock show when he used to have his, like, it was kind of like the Chappelle show, but if you compare the two, Chappelle show was way funnier. But at the time, it was a pretty funny show. And she was just like in this skit called Damn Fool. And her skit was she ran into a burning building and she got like caught on fire. And then they were interviewing afterwards, and she's like, I saw that the building was on fire, but I didn't know I was gonna get burned. And then they stamp it, boom, damn fool. It was a dumbass skit, but it was just funny. It was just basically highlighting how dumb people are and dumb shit they do. Like, if you have a no trespassing sign in somebody's yard and there's a pit bull chained to a tree and you go in there anyway and a dog bites you, it's like, I saw the sign and the dog, but I didn't know I was going to get bit. Damn fool. Yeah, so that was the skit and she was on one of them and it was just so funny to me. That was the first time I saw Wanda Sykes. All right, Alyssa Thomas. Over rebounds and assists. 23, 26, 23. That is it's a bonus shit right there, right? Let's give her some respect. Let's say Sabonis's games are like her shit. And when we look at Sabonis game lines, we'll go, man, that's some Alyssa Thomas shit right there. We'll give her some damn props. How about that? Massive games here. Not going to get a whole lot of books taking action on this one, at least not right now. However, we got some game logs to look at. Now, the head-to-head matchup today versus the Mystics. Not the best, okay? So if you're looking at game logs, you're just not going to see what you want to see. So you do have a decision to make here, you know, which Alyssa Thomas you're going to get. Is it the last 5 games or is it the last 5 games against the Mystics? That's the question. Now, her projections are in favor of the over at 19, which is fair. I think 19 is a fair number. It's not too far over. I think it's within range. Just because this is what she's done in the past doesn't mean this is what she'll continue to do. So we just gotta know the history here, but we don't have to say, hey, it happened this way, so it'll happen again. Every game is different. Every year is different. But that's her history against this team. That is what it is. That's a fact. That's also a fact. 3 straight, 23 plus. Brittany Sykes under her rebounds. Now, I get this one because if Alyssa Thomas is out there balling out, leaving less rebounds for everybody else to gobble up, it does impact Sykes' upside in terms of her rebounds. Her too struggled a lot versus this game against this team, possibly because Alyssa Thomas on the other side. Maybe they're canceling each other out. Maybe that's why Alyssa Thomas isn't having these big ass games against the Mystics. However, we need Sykes to get you 7 rebounds today. If you like the over on her 6, she's only done it twice out of the last 7 games. You're looking to take the under. Unfortunately, this one has been bumped down from 6.5 to 6. So my advice to you would be go find it at 6.5 first. Go find it at 6.5. Play the over. Or excuse me. I don't want you mishearing me. Go find it at 6.5. Play the under. Then go find it at 5.5 and play the over and hope that she lands right at 6. You can do that, or you can just do one of the others, or you can just stay away from it. But it has been moved down because everybody was taking the under on this one. Now, looking at her projection today, she is projected for 7 at 5.5. She's projected at 7. That lines up really well with the odds. At 5.5, all 3 of these books like the over at minus 140 or more. So that tells me the over is in play at 5.5. 6 is kind of like that no man's land. Ugh, I hate that shit. I would advise you go find it on another pick'em site for a higher line or lower line and play it there. Honestly, the 6 just feels like a little too. Yeah. All right. Izzy, we looked up Thomas, we looked up Sykes, we looked up Bonner already. All right, Izzy over her, was it PRA? Points and rebounds. Sorry, Izzy over points and rebounds. Is it Izzy or Easy? What if it's Izai? Anybody knows, throw it in chat. 3 straight games of 24 or more points and rebounds. Now, only one of those games is this season, so let's not get ahead of ourselves here. But it's a good start to the year. Numbers against, I don't know what Minnesota's team name is. I don't even know what Seattle's team name is. Against Minnesota, she's gone over in 3 of her last 10, but 3 of her last 5. So that it looks like she's not getting very many minutes. And we're right. So in those 4 games, she's gotten you under 20 twice. She's gotten you under 25 in 3 and under 30 in all 4 games. And in these games, you can see the difference in minutes. So, you know, that is very telling of how minutes equal production for a lot of players. You give a player the minutes, the opportunities are there. That's what happens. Projections on the over here. FanDuel doesn't like it at minus 118. Let's look at her PRA. You're not going to get any action on books for some reason. So, okay, listen, her PRA is at 23.5. Her PR is at 21.5. What's the difference? Damn. So she's giving you at least 2 assists in every game. She's giving you at least 7 rebounds. That's 9. And then she's giving you at least 12 points. So 9 plus 12 is 21. That's on the low end for her PRA. Low end, 21 PRA for her. That's with the low scoring game. If she gives you 15 points, that's 24. I think both of those are. I think her PRA is in play. PRA, not puree. I didn't say puree. I think her PRA, not puree. PRA is in play. And then you can also look to her points and rebounds. I don't know about points and assists. Shit. Although, damn, that is really low. Is that available on PrizePicks? If you can find her points and assists at 13.5, I mean, if she gets you 12 points, she's getting you 2 assists. I think all 3 of those are in play, but you're just not finding any action on it right now. Wow. Those are some decent lines. Her PRA and PA in addition to her PR. Yeah, those are good. Thomas over, Sykes under. Go find it at 6.5 or 5.5. Izai is Wah over, and then Bonner over as well. All right, let's take Wheeler and McConnell out. And that leaves us our 4 Winba plays. Izzy, I think it's Izzy also. I think it's Izzy also. Yeah. Eze. Michael Porter Jr. pushed me at 6 rebounds last night. Had the under. That son of a bitch. If you can find Bonner's rebounds 5.5, that's an over. Yeah, that's why I think 6 is just the no man's land, because it's gross. Yeah, go find it at 6.5, then you take the under, or 5.5 and you take the over. Either way, she lands at 6, right? What's up, Steven? I know, throwback shirt, right? I know, man. They're closing all the locations down. I walk around Austin with an Austin shirt. I look like a fucking fool. Like, nobody wears the name of their city if they live in the city, right? Like, I didn't walk around with Houston shirts on. I could be a tourist. I could be a tourist, you know? They don't know. Alyssa Thomas, the female Jokic, or Nikola Jokic, the male Alyssa Thomas. How about that? Otani over walks. O'Neal Cruz over hits, runs, and RBIs. We looked earlier at O'Neal Cruz for runs scored. We also looked at the over for O'Neal Cruz fantasy score. I know we were looking at all his props, but again, he's good. I mean, I shouldn't say good for a hit, because it makes it sound like I'm saying like lock up, he's gonna always get a hit. But based off what we saw, like the hit was there and then a run scored. We talked about where he's batting in the lineup. Like, if you're batting leadoff, it's really difficult for you to get an RBI like in your first at bat unless you hit a home run, which if he hits a home run, then it's over, right? But typically your responsibility is to get on base so that other batters can drive you in. But even if that's the case, if he gets on base and Connor Joe will probably lead off, right? Any fucking body drives him in, there's your 2 hits, runs, and RBI. So there are many ways that can play out. And then if you look at that and say, okay, he gets a hit, that's 3 points. He gets an RBI or a run score, that's 5. What's it going to take for him to get 7 fantasy points? It'll probably take another hit to get him over, or a walk, or a stolen base. If he gets on first with a single and steals second, boom, fantasy score hit, over. So O'Neal Cruz is in play. I really need him to have a good year. He was off to a really good start last season, and he broke his leg sliding into home, right? Was it he broke his leg? His tibia sliding into home. The Pirates, they're on fire too. They were like on a 17-game win streak or something. He was crushing. Yeah, but I need him to have a good season because I got a PSA 10 rookie that I'm trying to sell, but you got to wait for the value to increase. All right, O'Neal and Ohtani walks. You like the over on his walks? Let's take a look at Ohtani. We already looked at O'Neal Cruz. We liked his HRR breakdown. Let's look at Ohtani. Almost picked the wrong LA. All right. Back-to-back games with a walk drawn in his last 10, 50%, 60% in his last 5. When we take a look at his projection for a walk, it is at 0.75. That's a pretty high line that's a pretty high projection on the line of 0.5. Also his runs, man. So look, there's 4 points right there. The odds are not in favor of the over on his RBI, but the projections are in favor. If he were to get you all 3 of these, that's 6 points right there. This can happen on the same at bat. He can get on with a walk and then score a run. This would require a second at bat because you can't get an RBI if you get a walk, unless the bases are loaded, but that's probably not going to happen through the first line. Through the first rotation, right? So three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is 9 fantasy points just based off projections. If you were interested in taking the over or anything like that, his hits, runs, and RBIs also look to be in play, although the odds are not in favor of this. Probably because walks don't count as a base. That's not a walk. Or excuse me, that's not a hit. So while he could score a run, he doesn't get credit for a base. So that's not a hit. So he would just have 1 run scored instead of a hit and a run. So that's probably playing into the fact that his hits, runs, and RBIs are not favored to go over, which does hurt. Because he could very, very well go out there and draw 2 walks, 3 walks. We've seen this shit happen where batters go up there 4 times and get walked 3 out of 4 times. And unfortunately, they're not getting credit for a base. So it really, really brings down their upside. Now, his matchup against Frankie Montas is fantastic. Again, what they do is not what they will do. What they've done is not what they will do. However, this is very difficult to ignore. Almost a 400 batting average with 5 singles, 4 homers, and 11 RBIs, meaning that runners are on base when he's hitting home runs or singles, right? Because if he was just matching RBIs to home runs, he would just have 4. But because he has 7 extra, it means he's hitting home runs or driving runners in with his singles. BVP, Betts is in a good spot. Ohtani has the most plate appearances, so that's a little bit more solid in terms of sample size. And then against right-handed pitching, Ohtani against right-handed pitching, this whole lineup does a great job of drawing walks. So 17%, 14%, 16, 13. You got some pretty high walk rates in there. Ohtani is striking out at a bit higher rate. Mookie is pretty solid. Yeah, people, these batters are either under 20 or way over. Like first 4 under, and then 30, 34, 27, 31. So if you're looking to Dodgers stack it against Montas, it's going to be difficult to do it because the books are probably on already all over this. They're not going to give you the props you need to put in a slip together. So you'll have to figure out what the best combination is. But whether you're taking the walks on Ohtani or even just fantasy points, I think both of those are in play because walks do count towards fantasy points. So if he gets walked 3 times, that's 6 points, and he scores a run on 2 of those, that's 10. The hits, runs, and RBIs is where it might get a little dicey because he gets walked 3 times. He's at 0 bases. He's at 0 hits. So he has to get it done on runs and RBIs. It's hard to get an RBI when you're getting walked. So maybe fantasy scores in play, and then you like the over on his walks. All right. Boom. Okay, so there's a correlation right there. Wavelord says, all right, we already know we like we already had Bonner in there. Let's take her out. Let me screenshot these 3 Winba plays and then get rid of those. So we got Ohtani in there. Muncy for the correlation, says Wavelord. Okay. So what, Ohtani's leading off, or Mookie's leading off, then Ohtani's second. Muncy's what, 3rd or 4th? Yeah, so that would be good correlation, assuming Ohtani gets on base. Either way, Ohtani getting on base helps Muncy either way. If Ohtani gets on base with a walk and Muncy can drive him in, he goes over hits, runs, and RBIs like that, right? However, if Ohtani gets on with a single and Muncy drives him in, that only helps Muncy because you need Ohtani to get a walk. So it'll really correlate more towards Muncy's numbers because it's very specific with Ohtani. Like he can get on base with a single, a double, and not get you this, right? So that's why it is correlation, but more so for Muncy than it is Ohtani. You could also, I don't even know if we have this available, but oh, they nerfed it. Yeah, they nerfed this one. That would be, if this wasn't nerfed, oh, that would be really strong correlation. Just because it doesn't matter how Ohtani gets on base. It doesn't matter how he gets on base. If Muncy or anybody else can drive him in, that correlates. So unfortunately, it's already nerfed. But go see if you can find that combination somewhere else and maybe play them together in the same slip. I think that's cool. The what plays? The what plays? What are you talking about? What did I say? Did I say something wrong? Did I fuck up? All right. Boom, boom. Any other plays before we get out of here? We went over a lot in today's stream. So in addition to going over your player prop Q&A, breaking plays down, injury news, OG Anunoby, Mitchell Robinson are your only two names on the injury report for today's game. Nothing changes there. We talked a little bit about BETR today. So first time deposit match over on BETR up to 250. There's my QR code. Scan that, or you can click the link that's in the description. Deposit up to 250. Play through $10. Put $10 in. That way I get something out of it. However, you do that, you sign up on BETR, immediately play this Tyrese Halliburton promo. 0.5 points is the promo today. The max you can put on this slip is $5. I know. However, you put $5 on this bitch. Now you just need to play an additional $5. That gets you your first $10 played. If you need help pairing up this promo, or if you need help just playing a slip on BETR, hit me up in the Discord. I'll be sharing some BETR plays. And that way, your first $10 is already accounted for. Boom. And then we turn your $10 into a minimum of $30. And now you are building bankroll over on BETR. So we talked about BETR. We talked about Tyrese Halliburton promo as well. BETR is a really cool site. Took me a couple of months to kind of get a feel for it, but it's been fun. It's been fun. And then we ended on this quote. We opened up the stream with this quote. I love this quote, not because I made it up, but because it's relevant and it's applicable to anybody doing anything, anywhere. Whatever you're trying to do with yourself, your life, you typically have to go in opposite directions. You have to veer away from what traditional thinking or doing is showing you. You do what they want, you think like they don't, you're going to be what they aren't. Doesn't matter what you're doing. You can even apply this to player props. How you research, who you follow, who you listen to, maybe on certain days, it's just yourself. You only trust yourself. That's cool. But I love this quote. I think it's applicable to just about everybody out there, even Ghost. I think it's applicable to Ghost. Be the best fucking Ghost you can be. We talked about if you're watching this stream, that means you didn't die in your sleep. #bless unless you're a ghost. So yeah, if you're a ghost watching this, this applies to you. And on that note, I think we'll end it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's end this stream. Dante says, or Wavelore says, Dante DiVincenzo over 24.5 PRA. Let me just pull that up real quick. If he plays 35 minutes, you think he goes over that? Yeah. I mean, back-to-back games of 16, 19 PRA. Yeah, his minutes have been bad the last couple of games. I don't know if that's a direct result of him just being tired. We talked about Brunson being tired. We talked about Brunson being injured. But guys like DiVincenzo and Hart, I mean, those guys are playing monster. They're playing more minutes than Brunson in a lot of these games. So, or at least some of them. Yeah. So I think fatigue is setting in. It could be setting in for everybody. But yeah, if he plays, I mean, in games where he's gone over this line, he's playing over 30 in every game. He's playing over 30 in every game. In the 5 games that he has not gone over, in 3 of those games, he played less than 29 minutes. The past 2 games, he played 32 and 30. So he did give you 30 plus and not go over. But when he's giving you 35, 37, 40 minutes, he's crushing this line. So yeah, it feels like it's a matter of just playing time for him. If he's getting the high minutes, he should get the high output. At 24.5, you're also getting favorable odds on FanDuel and Caesars. So you do have some support from the books on that one. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's stream. Thank y'all so much for stopping by, checking this out. 2 hours in. Damn, 2 hours flies by. So we talked NBA, we talked MLB, we talked PGA. I did open up the stream with an esports slip that I already put in the premium Discord, but it was still on the PrizePicks dashboard when I pulled it up. So you got to see that slip. Those 5 plays I threw in a slip. Hopefully they hit. If they don't hit, then you didn't see it from me. You didn't get that shit from me. No, I own up to everything. Even if it doesn't hit, I'll be the first one to tell you it doesn't hit. So yeah, we covered a lot in today's stream. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 8:50 a.m. Be here early. Get here early. Put your question in early. I'll be able to get it done early, especially if you don't have the time to be on here for 2 hours. Get that shit in early. Knock that out. And then we'll cover as many plays as we can tomorrow. If you're still watching this, I purposely saved this to the end. But if you're interested in tomorrow's giveaway, I have not posted this on the channel. I've not posted this in the Discord yet. Tomorrow's giveaway, the question is, and once I say it here, then I'll throw it up on the YouTube channel so you can actually comment. But your favorite character from a sports movie. Your favorite character from a sports movie. It has to be a sports movie, like that's a theme. It can't be like Wedding Crashers is not a sports movie. Although they did play a game of football in the movie, that's not a sports movie. So Dodgeball, Major League. I'll even let Love and Basketball is a sports movie. Favorite character from a sports movie. When I create the post on my channel, just comment with your favorite character from a sports movie. We'll spin the wheel tomorrow and we'll draw a winner. That easy. That simple. That easy and that simple. So yeah, if you lasted this long, if you're watching this, that'll be our giveaway. I'll put that on the channel. And we'll spin the wheel tomorrow and we will draw a name. Josh Hart under points and rebounds. Under, I don't know. If you expect Dante DiVincenzo to have a better game, I think that does pull some points away from Hart. For sure. Odds on this one, we got Caesars that like the over, BetMGM likes the over, DraftKings likes the over, and FanDuel is split. So you got 3 out of 4 books that like the over on this one. So that wins a coin flip for me. You can take the under on this one if you want. I'm kind of just staying away from some of these Knicks plays, man. I'm just kind of tired of being burned by these motherfuckers. So there are a couple that are standing out to me, but for the most part, this game as a whole, it's the New York Knicks effect, man, you know? So you could take the under on that one. I think it would help if Dante does have a better game. I think that pulls some of the points away from Josh Hart. All right, we'll be back tomorrow morning, 8:50 a.m. with another live stream. Get your questions in early. You can get into the chat before I start. You can have the questions ready for me. That way I can get to them and you can be done. So appreciate y'all stopping by. Hit that like button on your way out. Consider subbing up to the channel. Click the notification icon. As I always say, hope all your player props respect the damn coin. And until tomorrow morning's Player Prop Talk live stream, Chavez is out.